The opinions expressed in the following paid program do not necessarily represent those of WJFK, CBS Radio, its employees, or sponsors.
This is Dustin Clark, Director of Operations of Maryland Basketball. You're listening to Terp Talk with Bruce Posner.
This is Viner Consulting Terp Talk, 60 minutes of Maryland Terrapins news and commentary, and your phone calls at 866-950-5225. Now from the CBS Radio studios in Baltimore, here are the hosts of Terp Talk, Bruce Posner and Wayne Viner.
All right, welcome in everybody to Viner Consulting Terp Talk this Saturday morning. This, let's say, bowl crucial game for the Maryland Terrapins. They are bowl eligible. They need one more win maybe to get a little upgrade in the bowl. And my man has hit the road, as he always does, the new road warrior, and that's Wayne Viner. Wayne, welcome in tonight.
Good morning. Good morning from south of the Mason-Dixon line. Today, the Terps, NC State, 0-7 NC State's a big day for Maryland.
It sure is. Wayne, let's talk about, first of all, we talked about why you were going to this game today, and it's a little nostalgia for you, being the last ACC conference game that Maryland will ever play. I mean, they'll cross paths with the ACC maybe once a year or whatever, but this wraps up 61 years of play in the ACC.
Well, it was the last time out, and, the kids wanted to go, I wanted to go. Maryland football's meant a lot to me throughout the years, as it has to you and anybody listening at 8 a.m. this morning on 1580 CBS Sports Radio. Probably means something to you, too. So I felt I just had to go see the last one.
Well, let's talk about the game today. I mean, Randy was in a good mood this week. I think the team was relaxed. And I never like facing a team that hasn't won a conference game all year. It's a little disconcerting because they are so desperate for a win, especially on Senior Day. But this is a team that Maryland should be able to really move the ball against and put some points up on the board. You agree?
Oh, I agree. 0-7 in the ACC. This is the first year for Dave Doran, who is the coach. He came from Northern Illinois, sort of did the same thing that Randy did. He got a team to the big bowl game. In their case, it was the Orange Bowl, and then he moved on to NC State, much like Randy Edsel got Connecticut to the Fiesta Bowl and then moved on to Maryland. But this is his first year down there. NC State's been in some games. They've lost. Well, at one point, they were 3-1 this season. They haven't won since, so they've lost 7 in a row. They blame it on the offense. They've changed quarterbacks several times. They say the defensive unit's stronger, although they've been giving up a lot of points, but they've been in the games into the fourth quarter, and they just haven't been able to close anybody out. So it should be a good opportunity for Maryland to get the 7th win, which I think is a big deal because it puts Maryland in a little bit of a leadership perspective in which bowl they're going to go to, as opposed to being 6-6. 7-5 looks a lot better, the bowl committee. Bruce, you've been thinking about bowl games. What are your thoughts this Saturday morning?
It's funny. I think that should Maryland lose, they will be relegated to one of these bowls where they can't find enough teams or, enough of the supposed teams. What bowls are they? I think that's the Dallas Bowl, the Beef O'Grady Bowl, the Pinstripe Bowl, Emerald Bowl. What's the one in Detroit?
The Little Caesars Bowl.
Is the Belk Bowl one of those, or is that an ACC bowl?
You got me on that one. I think we're down to the 35th bowl game there.
Here's the problem, okay? If Maryland goes 2-6, if they would somehow lose today, and it goes 2-6 in the conference, supposedly they don't qualify for the ACC bowl. As the fact that even though they won 6 games, they're 2-6 doesn't get them into a bowl inside the conference. But Swofford won't need many excuses to leave Maryland out of a bowl. He's just looking for anything that he can find. I've been through that all year, and that's just my take on it. But the Pinstripe Bowl, I mean, the bowls that make sense for Maryland in my eyes might be the one in Tampa. It would be the one in the Military Bowl, of course, and the Pinstripe Bowl because of the New York connection, where you're going to get a good following of Maryland fans up there. And, outside of that, some of these other bowls will not draw the Maryland fans. I think that's the most important thing.
Well, you brought up a good point that if we don't qualify for an ACC Bowl, which would, I guess, be the Military Bowl, or you could end up in El Paso, Texas at the Sun Bowl, or in Shreveport at what used to be the Independence Bowl, we might be better off as a fan base to end up in a bowl that we could just get in the car and drive over there, which would be the Pinstripe Bowl.
Key thing is, Wayne, and you know it, is number one, you get that extra month of practice, which this team could sorely use because it's still a young team. And second of all, you get that national exposure and the level of success of making a bowl, which is so important for some of these big-time recruits who are about to make their decision in Tabor and Prince, correct?
Right. We still have from Friendship Christian Academy, Tabor, who's the cornerback, and then we're looking at an offensive lineman from McDonough, which is Damian Prince, and those are two huge gets if Maryland can pull that off. Rumor has it that they're going to make the decision. Prince might be actually after National Signing Day, and Tabor will be at the Under Armour All-American game. Which is
when, Wayne? Isn't that around Christmas time?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it is. It's Christmas week, and I believe that that's still at the Tropicana Field where the Devil Rays play down in Tampa. And, we've had good luck there before. We've gotten some of our top recruits making a commitment at that game. So it used to be that if it came down to the end, Maryland usually lost out. As of late, when it comes down to the end, Maryland's really done a good job in pulling in the recruits. And for the future of the program, that's huge. The recruiting, I think, has really picked up in the 4- and 5-star areas.
By the way, last night, I don't know if you got to see any of the game or heard the score, but Jake Lehman was absolutely on fire. And so was Smotrich. Between the two of them, they were 11 for 16 from the three-point line. And obviously, Maryland played fairly well against, in this case, I would say an undermanned Morgan State team. They just didn't have they had one big guy who kind of gave us some trouble, but outside of that, the matchups just weren't there. But they looked pretty good last night. But Jake, you have a game like that, wow. He was 7 for 10 from the three-point line, Wayne.
Well, I guess that you're continually proving the point that he's the guy that makes Maryland go. Well, you said it. He's the one who's proving it.
Yes, and it's Des Wells is the guy you go to in crunch time. He's not the shooter per se, although he had a good shooting game last night. But Des Wells is the guy you go when you got to get that last second basket. He probably is the heart of the team, but Lehman puts the points up. And when Lehman's hot, Maryland will win many games, most games. You'll never see, I do believe when the year's over, if Lehman's over 20, the record of the team in those games will be excellent because he's the guy. And when he hits that outside shot, to me, it opens up everything. When they have to really over-concentrate on him, everything else opens up, including for Smotrich. Wade, let's go back to football for a second while we got you on the phone. Go back over, the highlight games. If you had Freddie did this the other day on the website. I'm sure you saw it. But if you had to pick out a couple games over the years that really stood out to you as great wins or heartbreaking defeats, whatever, what would the first couple that come to your mind?
Well, since I'm going to try to be positive this morning, because we're going to win today, I'm going to go with one of the bigger wins we had. Maryland with Bobby Ross went down to Carolina, and Willie Joyner got loose, and that was the first time that under Ross that I saw Maryland really start to dominate the ACC, and they really kept that up, along with a couple signature wins over North Carolina in that time frame in the ACC. One of the bigger wins in the past 30 years or so that I got to go to, Maryland beats Refrigerator Perry and Clemson in Baltimore. Of course, an ACC win was the last game of the season when Mark Mason in 1990, put Maryland into the bowl eligibility and got them the Independence Bowl with a huge game at Virginia. There's been a lot of them. Recently, the run with Ralph Friedgen, the win at Georgia Tech in overtime, one of the best wins I've ever seen. When Clemson came here that year, Maryland just overpowered them to take the ACC, and then the final win that year was at NC State when Sean Hill hit Julian Gary in the right corner of the end zone to beat NC State, put Maryland in the Orange Bowl. I could go on for the entire hour.
Yeah, well, of course, I asked for two.
But I think it's at 22. I'm sorry, I misheard you.
When I think of the two that bring back the best memories to me were the one you just said about Sean Hill that put Maryland in the Orange Bowl. That was just one that just stood out, and it was a nip and tuck battle that went back and forth, I think, with Phillip Rivers on the other side. Yeah. And the one that means a lot to me was the Ralph's probably last regular season game for Maryland, and that was when Torrey Smith had 4 touchdowns. To me, that was the most explosive offense that I remember seeing Maryland have, and the day Torrey had just goes down in Maryland folklore. And that game really catapulted him probably into the NFL draft, onto the Ravens, and into the Super Bowl, as they say. But that was a special day for me.
I'm going to throw in one of the harder losses was the day that Lamont Jordan had the 307 yards.
Against Virginia?
And Maryland just couldn't pull it off, and that was against Virginia as well.
And that was the year where they had 3 straight games to get that 6th win, and they could not get it. In fact, they were only playing 11 games then. So, that was unbelievable. I think he had a couple 80-yard runs that game.
Yeah, he had one that I believe was 97.
It's funny, I was asked yesterday, the ESPN called me to ask some questions about Dustin Clark, and they also asked how I felt about leaving the ACC and everything. And my reaction, I think, hit them by a little bit of a surprise when I hit the word good riddance. All right. I unlike you, I'm just ready to move on after all these years. And I think it's funny, every year there's some great ACC games, but to me, the past 7 or 8 years, the ACC has been so mediocre, and so many of the games have been, unattractive per se, that I think it's affected the whole program as far as attendance goes. And I just think that there's just not, there haven't been those marquee games at College Park. And not because Maryland's hasn't been that great. That's certainly been the case. But who's come in? They were getting Florida State every other year, Clemson every other year, and, the Wake Forest of the world, and just Boston College. And there's no knock against them, but the glory of the ACC in football is just gone. And you could fake your way into a couple games a year with Notre Dame, but until they're a full-fledged member of the ACC, their presence is nothing. You agree or disagree with that?
On the football side?
Yes.
I'm not sure when the heyday of the ACC was. We never had a great batch of teams, and Notre Dame doesn't fix that, because after the first time or two you play them, if it's a 7-5 type of Notre Dame team, you'll sell out, but it's still not going to be the big game of the week. I feel it more, not that I disagree with leaving. I think the ACC, as you're saying, ACC as we knew it is gone.
Yeah, I think the day the expansion hit with Virginia Tech and Duke, Virginia Tech and Miami and BC, everything changed. And I think when it was a tighter 8 or 9 team conference, I don't know what it was, but it was just more fun across the board, including basketball.
I think basketball is the one that was hurt the most.
It's so watered down now that it's you play every team once. I think we might play Virginia twice this year, or Pitt, but it's not what it used to be. And
we play a rival game against Pitt. We get them twice. And boy, I'm looking forward to that one.
The rivalry with Pitt. Well,
oh man, that goes back all the way to last week? I mean, there's some history there.
I think they mixed up professional football with the college game. Okay, when they thought our rival was Pitt. I know Jamie Dixon.
Good thinking there, because the Caps and the Penguins, you got the Ravens and the Steelers. You do have the Orioles played the Pirates in the World Series 30 years ago. I mean, there's some rivalry there.
Yeah, that's
but not in college.
Well, Wayne, you have to bring back the victory today. It's going to be this kid's victory day. Kind of makes the season a little bit, being 7-5, and hopefully going to maybe a little bit better bowl. But any bowl's a good bowl. But before we let you go, tell us about Viner Consulting as the title sponsor of Terp Talk.
Viner Consulting is a group that can help you make more money with your business. Whether you're looking at somebody to work with you for marketing in your website or e-commerce, whether you're looking to streamline your inventory, your accounting system, or you have other business issues, you can call me. You can talk to me personally about how to straighten your company out and go on to victory for you and your business. You can reach Viner Consulting at 301-251-2900 or on the web at consulting2900.com.
All right, Wayne, listen, I wish you a victory and an easy ride home. And it's always an easy ride home when you win. But for the Lord of Wants, I can't believe you're rushing home to catch that Redskin Giant game tomorrow.
Well, I'm not in that big a hurry. Redskins not doing so well. That's at 8:30 Sunday night. It should be nice and freezing out there to watch two fairly bad football teams. But, hey, you got to do what you got to do.
All right, Wayne, thanks a lot, and we'll see you next week here on Terp Talk.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, this is Bruce Posner. You're listening to the Viner Consulting Terp Talk, and we'll be back in a few minutes here on CBS Sports Radio 1580. We are pleased to welcome Kelly & Associates Insurance Group to the Terp Talk family. For more than 35 years, Kelly & Associates Insurance Group has been known as the region's premier group insurance administrator, broker, and consultant specializing in healthcare. Kelly is also able to provide your organization with an integrated payroll solution through KTBS Payroll. The leader in benefits is now the leader in payroll too. To learn more about how Kelly and KTBS Payroll can provide your organization with a total benefits solution, contact them today at 800-972-7227. Kelly, one of the most trusted names in benefits, now offers payroll. KTBS Payroll provides a payroll solution that utilizes their innovative technology for greater accuracy, administrative efficiency, and compliance with regulatory requirements, such as the new Patient Protection and Affordable Care Acts. KTBS Payroll features management tools, reports, and services that relieve you of the details while giving you better control, ensuring you remain in compliance. Call KTBS today at 888-882-1487 to learn more about their integrated solution for payroll and benefits through KTBS Payroll. Listen up. If you want crabs, you have to head to the Costas Inn on North Point Boulevard. There is no comparison in all of Maryland for the greatest crabs and crab cakes ever. Costas also serves unbelievable steamed shrimp, Greek salads, and steaks for lunch and dinner. Nick, Pete, and Costas Triantopoulos run the perfect restaurant to go with family and friends. Give Costas Inn a call at 410-477-1975 and tell them the Terp Talk guy sent you. Terp Talk is proud to welcome Glen Burnie Transmissions as a new sponsor. Located at 7166 Ritchie Highway in Glen Burnie. For over 50 years, Glen Burnie Transmissions offers free towing from the D.C. area. Transmissions for all imports and domestics. Go to www.gbt-online.com for a quotation or call President Mark Schwartzman at 800-458-2661. That's 800-458-2661, Glen Burnie Transmissions.
Hi, I'm Johnny Holiday. I've seen a lot of great teams over the years, but not as good as the legal team at the Jacklish Law Group. Every single lawyer at the Jacklish Law Group is ranked in the top 1% of personal injury lawyers in the entire country, and we're honored yet again by Super Lawyers magazine. So if you've been injured in a truck, car, or train crash, get that great team working for you. Call the Jacklish Law Group 301-627-8700. Can't spell Jacklish? Try www.smallfirmbigdogs.com.
Viner Consulting helps you get the most out of your business technology. We develop a technology plan for your business. There is much more than the run-of-the-mill break and fix service you are probably used to getting from your local IT tech. This is a real plan to move you forward, to bring in the latest technology at the best prices, strong support services, and a vision to lay out where you want your company to be down the road. And best of all, the plan is free to your company. Let us come and help you build your future today. Viner Consulting is a proud Microsoft partner, a Lenovo partner, and an HP partner. Conveniently based in Rockville, we service the Baltimore, Washington area. You can reach us at 240-599-0140 or on the web at www.vinerconsulting.com. Atman's Delicatessen has finally expanded into the Potomac area. Created originally in Baltimore in 1915, it's been a long time, but the best deli in the nation has come to the Washington area. Everyone is ecstatic that now you can find Atman's Deli at Tuckerman Lane in the Cabin John Shopping Center. Mark Atman, a tremendous Terp fan, brings his tremendous talents to the Washington area when it comes to delicatessen. Open from 8 to 8 for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Atman's features its corned beef and pastrami, but certainly has all the great deli food available. Call 301-765-3354 for catering or to order ahead. That's Atman's Deli, 301-765-3354 in the Cabin John Shopping Center.
Attention business owners. Circumstances force the best of businesses to ask callers to wait. KO Productions on-hold messages turn those wasted seconds into customer awareness, service, consideration, and your own profitability. Not even Alexander Graham Bell could do as much for your telephone as we can. Get complete details at koponhold.com, koponhold.com, or call Freddie from Boca at 800-229-9969, 800-229-9969.
Access Title Company, LLC, brings to you experience, relationship, and peace of mind. All great reasons to choose Access Title Company as your residential and commercial real estate settlement company. Choosing a reputable, experienced title company is crucial to a smooth settlement process. Our staff of attorneys and experienced personnel is committed to helping you through the complete process, with personal attention, competitive rates, and prompt service. Access Title Company goes anywhere in the state of Maryland to perform your settlement at no additional cost to you. That's why we're Access Title. Please call Melanie, our operations manager, at 410-363-8785 for additional information. That's Access Title Company at 410-363-8785.
You're listening to Viner Consulting Terp Talk. Join the conversation at 866-950-5225. Once again, Bruce Posner and Wayne Viner.
This is Sasha Swarovski, and you're listening to Terp Talk with Bruce Posner.
Back here on segment 2 of Viner Consulting Terp Talk. That, of course, was Sasha Swarovski. Big game tomorrow, 5 o'clock against UC Irvine in the Sweet 16 of the NCAA Soccer Championship. Nestled near College Park is one of Terp Talk's favorite spots, the O-Line Fine Wine, Spirits, and Bistro. I've had several lunches and dinners at the O-Line Bistro, and the atmosphere and food is fantastic. What a great spot to go to before or after a Terp game. There's the greatest selection of fine wines and beers, all at reasonable prices. Call at 11011 Baltimore Avenue on Route 1. Check out the Old Line Bistro and say hello to my friend Larry Pendleton. Call 301-937-6999 for reservations or just stop in. Mervis Diamond Importers is the place to go in the D.C. area for anything diamond related. The business is run by Ronnie and Zed with the help of their children. The Mervis staff has training for the Gemological Institute of America and the Diamond Council of America. Mervis offers a lifetime free cleaning and resizing when purchasing Mervis diamonds, and they are the sponsor of the D.C. Minute. Call the store at Rockville, one of 3 stores in the D.C. area, 1775 Rockville Pike, 301-231-0030. And to talk a little D.C. sports right now with me will be my buddy Freddie from Boca. Freddie, welcome in this morning.
Good morning, Bruce.
Freddie, it's an interesting thing that's like filtering around the NFL when we talk about the DC with the Redskins and everything. And that is the kind of like flash in the pan of the read option and the Wildcat. I mean, Joe Flacco kind of started it, putting the Wildcat in his opinion in place. And then Bruce Arians the other day said that the read option is nothing but a college offense, and it only took less than 1 season for the NFL defense to kind of figure it out. And I'm beginning to believe in that the read option, it certainly took RG3 down physically. Is there room for it in the NFL?
Probably not. Once the teams start see it a little bit, they know how to defense it. In the NFL, you're playing against guys that are the best football players. They're big, strong, fast, and athletic. When you look at college sports teams, there's X number of guys that are highly skilled and have great athleticism, and after that, there's a big drop. Now you get to the pros, and everybody there is top. They're top tier players, and that offense it's a gimmick, and gimmicks get figured out pretty quickly,
as they have this year. And they've kind of forced Kaepernick into the pocket, which is why he hasn't been as successful. Although I will say this, with Michael Crabtree coming back, who knows what can happen with that team. That team might make its run right now. I just, after watching them just dismantle the Redskins last week, I have a feeling.
They dismantled a bad team, so it's hard to really make a true determination of how well they're playing when you play a really bad team.
I agree with that. They get Seattle, I think, next week or the week after.
I would think that's a much better test.
Right. Tom McMillan was installed in the College Basketball Hall of Fame. If you go back to Tom McMillan's career in Maryland, what a great super career. Of course, it was only 3 years because the first year back then, freshmen were ineligible. What do you remember most about Tommy Mack?
Well, for one thing, before Tommy Mack and Lefty came to Maryland, you had 5,000 people coming to a game. When Tommy Mack was a freshman, along with Lenny Elmore and Jab Trimble, 3 guys that were in the top 10 recruits of the country. Actually, Lenny and Tommy were probably anywhere between 1 and 3. Cole Fieldhouse was sold out. Couldn't find the seat. 6 o'clock for a freshman game. That's the impact that Tom McMillan, as well as Lefty, had on Maryland. McMillan, as a college player, he was poetry in motion. He played the game with great finesse, and which is strange, not strange, but in a sense, when he went to the NBA after going to England to be a Rhodes Scholar, his game didn't elevate and project to the NBA with his finesse. He became a physical player, and I'm always thinking, had Tommy been a physical player in college, Maryland would have never lost, but he had a beautiful shot. He shot over 90% from the free throw line. Had there been a 3-point line in college at that time, Tommy probably would have averaged more than 21 points over his career, probably closer to 30 points a game.
Yeah, he hit from the corner. He was dead from the corner. I mean, he would sit there in that corner from where he was shooting from. He was in the 3-point line. He was a great player and belongs in the College Basketball Hall of Fame, and that's where he sits. Now, did you get to see any of the game last night against Morgan State?
No, it wasn't on TV. They threw the TV game off TV and put a hockey game on.
I watched it on ESPN3. I was unable to go, and it's funny that Smotrich, it's as he plays better in these games, Freddie, from what I've seen, it makes Layman so much better that it's unbelievable. Because if you leave Smotrich wide open, you're dead. His shot is strong enough that when he's wide open, it's in from the 3-point line. I think he was 4-6 last night, and it turned Layman into 7 from 10 from the 3-point line. Now, Why they didn't go inside more, I'm not sure. But I guess when you're hitting that strong, you just keep it up. But
well, neither player is an inside player, number one.
I'm talking about inside scoring with Clear and Mitchell. It was the kind of team they could have done it against, but it just didn't happen.
I don't think you're going to get down. If you and I are playing against Clear, he's at this point he hasn't shown that he can really play consistently good basketball in college, and the competition he's been playing against lately is vastly different than what he's going to start facing, certainly starting the next game against Ohio State.
That's a huge game, Freddie. To me, that's a game that Maryland kind of needs to win. They need to get over the hump, and the fact that it's on the road would even make the win bigger. And it's just a game they need, and the odds are, it's going to be a very tough game to win playing at Ohio State, I don't remember the last time we played them, Fred. I mean, I'm sure maybe it was in a tournament. Have we played them regular season in the last decade?
I don't remember. All I know is that the NCAA is very adamant telling teams your out-of-conference schedule is very, very important to get into the NCAA tournament. And for Maryland to play very, very few quality teams, and Providence might wind up to be a good win. They won again last night. They played another mediocre team. But if Providence makes the top 25, that'll enhance Maryland's chances for the tournament. But with so few quality non-conference teams Maryland schedules, this game is almost imperative to win, unless they have a sensational ACC season.
And then if the ACC is strong, too, that's another factor. I mean,
to play Morgan State, to play Abilene Christian, to play, Oregon State beat us. To play these quote-unquote cupcake, supposedly easy win teams doesn't help you at all in getting in the tournament. It pads your wins for the year, but last year Maryland won 25 games, and where they wind up in the NIT.
It's funny, though. I read an article about how Maryland, there's below 300, below 200, top 100. I mean, there's different ways to look at it. And numbers-wise, they have increased the level of difficulty in their schedule, as crazy as that sounds. And, of course, Morgan State wasn't supposed to be 1-7. And Morgan State was a game that I don't know if I'd say they avoided it in the past 7 or 8 years, but ever since they lost to them, they haven't been on the schedule again. But unfortunately for Maryland, Morgan State opens up 0-6 or 1-6, whatever they were. But that's the way it goes. Freddie, you wrote a good blog this week about your favorite games from the ACC, the history of the ACC. I asked Wayne this question. I'm going to say it to you. If you had to pick out 1 or 2 games that you remember the most, that were the most exhilarating, what games would they be?
Well, the two that really stand out was the Maryland-Miami game when Maryland was down 31-0 at halftime to Bernie Kosar's Hurricanes, coached by Jimmy Johnson at Miami, and come back to win the game 42-40. And the other was a loss, but it was after Claiborne had been there a couple of years, and we opened up in the 1974 season against Bear Bryant in Alabama College Park. And just to walk into Byrd Stadium, where I was used to seeing crowds of 15,000, 18,000, 20,000, and seeing 54,000 people on a bright, sunny Saturday afternoon to see Maryland play Alabama. And Maryland lost the game 21-16. They outplayed Alabama, but like many Maryland teams over the years, and particularly against teams like Penn State, outplay them but don't win on the scoreboard. You're still left there with wow. It's like you felt like you were in the big time.
I think that's how it's going to be next year, Freddie. I really do. That's how it's going to start being. If Maryland can be competitive in these games, which I think a lot of them they will be, to the surprise of many. But to have Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan come into our house is something. It is something special. It's big time football that has not been prevalent in the ACC. Every other year when Florida State comes in, you get that kind of feeling. And even Miami, since they joined the ACC, have they been in the BCS since they joined the ACC?
Miami hasn't been anything special probably since 10, 12 years ago.
That's hard to imagine that you figure
with the ACC brought in Florida State, they brought in Virginia Tech. Well, Florida State had a tremendous run, particularly earlier in their ACC. They won 10 games or more, I think, 10 years in a row at one point in the 90s. And their program fell off a little as Bobby Bowden got older. They're back now. There's no question with Jimbo as their coach. Miami, one of the weaker 9-3 teams I've seen this year. Heck, it would be nice if Maryland had 9 wins. Virginia Tech, they always seem to have winning seasons, but when they play out of conference, normally they seem to get beat, so that their program isn't as strong as you would thought it would be. Then Clemson, normally has a pretty good program, but overall they ate Wake Forest. Duke's having a great year, but you don't think of Duke as a football power, and this is probably one of the few times they'll have an opportunity to win a ACC championship. It's always been a basketball conference, and now with Maryland leaving, but Louisville coming in with Pitt and Syracuse, the pro basketball, ACC basketball will be much better. But football, it's never really been anywhere comparable to the Big Ten overall, or the SEC, or the Pac-12, or the Big 12.
Freddie, prediction today for the NC State game.
I just hope we win.
2-0 would be.
NC State's terrible. Maryland's they're not playing real. I mean, they had a nice win in Virginia Tech on the road, but overall, they don't impress anybody. But got to win this game. To lose this game would be horrible, especially if people who don't like Debbie. Yeah, I thought Debbie did a nice job at Maryland. Got some bad hits about the financial situation, which. Look, they had to expand the stadium, and the economy tanked, and the football team went down at the same time, and people stopped going. She had no control over the economy, and Ralph Friedgen ran the football program at that time, and unfortunately it just didn't. His success, you couldn't expect it to continue like his first 3 years, but being under 500 his last 7 years at Maryland, the ACC play certainly didn't help. But believe me, Debbie would love to win this game against Maryland, and a lot of Maryland, every Maryland, they need this game today desperately. And it's a bad team, but it's on the road, and they're coming off a bad loss, so you don't know how they'll react, but gee, I hope they win.
Yeah, I agree with you. All right, we'll let you go. Thanks a lot, Fred.
All right, Bruce.
All right, this is Bruce Posner. You're listening to CBS Sports Radio 1580, in D.C. 1300 is the next show at 9 o'clock. We'll be back here in just a few minutes on CBS Sports. We are pleased to welcome Kelly & Associates Insurance Group to the TerpTalk family. For more than 35 years, Kelly & Associates Insurance Group has been known as the region's premier group insurance administrator, broker, and consultant specializing in healthcare. Kelly is also able to provide your organization with an integrated payroll solution through KTBS Payroll. The leader in benefits is now the leader in payroll, too. To learn more about how Kelly and KTBS Payroll can provide your organization with a total benefits solution, contact them today at 800-972-7227. Kelly, one of the most trusted names in benefits, now offers payroll. KTBS Payroll provides a payroll solution that utilizes their innovative technology for greater accuracy, administrative efficiency, and compliance with regulatory requirements, such as the new Patient Protection and Affordable Care Acts. KTBS Payroll features management tools, reports, and services that relieve you of the details while giving you better control, ensuring you remain in compliance. Call KTBS today at 888-882-1487 to learn more about their integrated solution for payroll and benefits through KTBS Payroll. TerpTalk is proud to welcome Glen Burnie Transmissions as a new sponsor. Located at 7166 Ritchie Highway in Glen Burnie. For over 50 years, Glen Burnie Transmissions offers free towing from the D.C. area. Transmissions for all imports and domestics. Go to www.gbt-online.com for a quotation or call President Mark Schwartzman at 800-458-2661. That's 800-458-2661. Glen Burnie Transmissions. The Fellowship of Christian Athletes is touching millions of lives, one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been helping coaches and athletes on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels to fulfill their God-given potential. FCA is the largest Christian sports organization in America and focuses on serving local communities by equipping, empowering, and encouraging people to make a difference. To learn more about the FCA in your area, call Mark Stevens at 301-363-8611 or visit their website, metromdfca.org.
Have you been injured in a car accident by medical error while on the job or because of the fault of another? Are your medical payments and paperwork piling up, or are you out of work and losing wages that you can't afford to lose all because someone else was negligent? If so, get the representation and individual attention you deserve from the law firm of Grant Posner, 443-388-4777, or go to BeMoreLaw.com for your free consultation.
I'm Grant Posner. I began this firm with the belief that all clients should get the individual attention that they deserve. When you call my office, you deserve to speak directly to an attorney. Call today at 443-388-4777 or visit BeMoreLaw.com and schedule your free consultation with an attorney today. Get the individual attention and experience you deserve for all of your injury, traffic, or criminal legal needs. And don't forget, for personal injury cases, there are no legal fees or expenses unless we win. Call today, 443-388-4777 or BeMoreLaw.com.
Access Title Company, LLC, brings to you experience, relationship, and peace of mind. All great reasons to choose Access Title Company as your residential and commercial real estate settlement company. Choosing a reputable, experienced title company is crucial to a smooth settlement process. Our staff of attorneys and experienced personnel is committed to helping you through the complete process with personal attention, competitive rates, and prompt service. Access Title Company goes anywhere in the state of Maryland to perform your settlement at no additional cost to you. That's why we're Access Title. Please call Melanie, our operations manager, at 410-363-8785 for additional information. That's Access Title Company at 410-363-8785.
This is CJ Brown. You're listening to Terp Talk with Bruce Posner.
You're listening to Viner Consulting Terp Talk. Join the conversation at 866-950-5225. Once again, Bruce Posner and Wayne Viner.
All right, Wayne, of course, is on the road today, heading down to North Carolina State, covering the game for Terp Talk, and more so going to the game for himself because he is so excited about. He's a little bit more nostalgic about leaving the ACC than I am. I can't wait to get out. Dustin Clark was elevated to assistant coach this week, and Dustin's a good friend of mine. He will be a brilliant addition to Mark Turgeon's staff. I've watched games with Dustin. I know about his knowledge. I know about his loyalty to Turgeon is unquestioned. His analysis of the opposition is excellent. He's been a great student in his years with Turgeon. He's more than ready for this move, will be a tremendous asset in the program. And I just like the fact that they brought the guy from within. Sometimes there's that reach to look outwards and go outwards and find somebody else. And Dustin, when you have the guy like Dustin Clark right in front of you, he's the guy to take, and I'm so happy for him. It's a tremendous move. He's paid his dues. He served his time as an apprentice, and now he's an assistant coach, so he'll be recruiting. He'll be a great recruiter. He already has. He's done all these things already, but it's great that Anderson and Nate Pine and everybody agreed with the decision by Turgeon to allow Dustin to step up. And, of course, Juan Dixon was added to the staff. Just his presence at Comcast lights up the arena. It's a great addition for Coach Turgeon. And, I'm sure that his first assignment will be to work on the foul shooting of this team because it needs it. It really does need it. Turgeon said that Dustin is very deserving of the promotion. He's been an integral member of my staff both at Maryland and A&M. Dustin's a tireless worker, talented coach who will thrive in his new role and help our program in its ascension to the next level. So hats off to Dustin Clark. Very, very well reserved. Had Sasha on my show in Baltimore the other day. Maryland plays UC Irvine as the Terrapins. Listen to this. For the 12th straight year, they have made the round of 16. And they defeated Providence 3-1. They benefited. The game was decided eventually on a penalty kick from Patrick Mullins, who's been fantastic. The Terps are 14-3-5. They're fifth seed. Should they win this game, we don't look ahead, but should they win this game, they'll have to go out to California to play an extremely tough team. And Sasha was really raving about UC Irvine being tough. And it's tomorrow at 5 o'clock at Ludwig Field. I would urge everybody to go to the game, especially the College Park area. The Redskins are at night, so you can watch the game afterwards. The Ravens have already played. Take a moment, ride out there, bundle up, and get ready to watch some great soccer from Sasha, as Maryland, because of its seeding, has the advantage of the home field against UC Irvine. And the colder it is, the better it might be for the Terps, because UC Irvine's not used to that kind of weather, obviously. The Terps will be in Game 1 of the Conica Minolta Classic on Sunday, March the 2nd. They will be playing the NCAA champion Duke Blue Devils at 10:30 a.m. If someone can explain that game time to me, I'd like to know. It's a Sunday, and March the 2nd, again, 10:30 against the NCAA champion Blue Devils. 1 o'clock, you got Hopkins and Princeton, and 3 o'clock, 3:30 actually, Loyola against Lehigh. Absolutely superb triple header. And we didn't mention it, and we should have, is that the Terps won the Paradise Jam Championship, holding on to defeat Providence 56-52. Des Wells was, he stepped up. He got the job done. Great game for him. What about the play of Varun Ram? He's been a little spark plug for the Terrapins. I called them pesky. First time I saw him play was guarding Roddy Peters in a scrimmage, and you could tell that, for everybody out there who's played basketball on any level, in high school or even club level or college or whatever, the one thing a guard can't stand is to have somebody just climbing all over him when he's trying to bring the ball up court. That's what Varun does. He's excellent at it. He draws charges or takes charges. He, bats balls away. He's got it, and he's going to see some more minutes. Shaq Clear finished that game with 7 points. Easily could have had 15. Missed some easy layups. And hopefully he can finish a little bit better, because we're going to need him. There's no doubt about it. It was a big win against Providence, because Providence is a team that when the year's over, their record is going to help Maryland, in its opportunity to get a bowl bid, to get into the dance. So I guess we'll just take that as it comes. Last Saturday, of course, that tough loss to BC. There were some second guesses of Randy freezing the kicker and Randy on 3rd and 4 calling the timeout. But every move that he made was just a coaching decision. And pretty much like a lot of decisions John Harbaugh has made for the Ravens this year, sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. But to second guess, that's ridiculous, because if the kick would have been no good, then Randy would have been a hero, per se, for making that move. So it's just, who knows? It's a gut feeling a coach has to have. And I certainly, I certainly defended, and I just heard a lot of stuff about it that was ridiculous. And Randy Edsall, gotta win today, man. We gotta win today. Gotta get to 7 wins. Gotta be the team that can't win. We have to get the job done. So I guess we'll take it as it comes. But to me, this is a crucial game for the program. They're still bowl eligible. They'll still go to a bowl game, but it just, should have won last week, whatever. They didn't. But so be it. How about Bo Pelini over at Nebraska? 57-24 career at Nebraska. He's 8-4 this year, and now he might not keep his job. He said, if they want to fire me, go ahead. I believe in what I've done. I don't apologize to you. He absolutely hates the press. I don't apologize to anybody, myself or this staff. Our record, since I've been here, speaks for itself. Program is heading in a good direction. There's a guy who just says what he wants and doesn't, really give a hoot about who cares or whatever. A couple big games in the college circuit today. Of course, we have Florida State at Florida. Florida State, of course, needs to win out to get to the championship game. I don't think it's, I've heard some speculation that if for whatever reason Jameis Winston was suspended from the team or whether, I don't think that really should affect at Florida State. The team is undefeated. Yeah, Jameis Winston might be the best player, but it's the team that's undefeated. And the team is beat, it's not a one-game, it's not a one-game situation. So I hope he's not suspended. I hope the charges go in his favor if he's innocent. And but I can't imagine that Florida State would be penalized, but I guess we'll see what happens. Some big games today, of course. Besides that, is the Iron Bowl. And this might sound crazy, but I think Alabama's going down today. I really do. Auburn is on a ferocious tear. They've won 7 games in a row. They've just turned things to an extremely positive side. They do have one loss. Would that catapult them into the championship game? No way in the world. The 2 best teams in the country would be Ohio State and Florida State. And that would be a superb game, a game I might rather see than Alabama and Florida State. I think Ohio State and Florida State would just be a scoring festival, and that would be great. Look, Duke's got a big game today. Hate to talk about Duke, but they're 5-point underdogs against Carolina. They win the game, they go to the ACC championship, which is in and of itself a tremendous accomplishment for them. And they'll get their heads beat in by Florida State for sure. LSU and Arkansas, that was yesterday. Super game. LSU held on to win. Houston and SMU, the Washington State game was a great game. Washington held on. Last night I happened to watch a game between I forgot what it's called, the Civil War. Oh, that's Washington State. What was Oregon and Oregon State? Maybe that's the Civil War. But anyway, amazing that Oregon State is driving down the field with 1:30 left or 1:40 left. They're down by 1. They're in field goal range. All they have to do is sit on the ball and attempt a field goal maybe of 30, 35 yards. And they run a play that works. Guy runs into the end zone, scores a touchdown. They missed the 2-point conversion. They're up by 5. And lo and behold, Oregon marches down the field like it was absolutely nothing and wins the game. Wow, that one's on the coach. Sometimes you got to get the message across that if you're the last one to have the ball and you're the last one to score, there's no way you can lose. And I could not believe that happened, but I can't imagine that the Oregon State coaches are going to take a lot of heat. So that wraps it up. We got a big one today at 12:30 against NC State. Win, you might go to the Military Bowl. You might go to the bowl in Nashville. You're going to step up a little bit unless Swafford has his way and keeps Maryland out. And lose, you'll be relegated probably to the Pinstripe Bowl in New York, which would make me happy because it's so easy to get to. It's on a Saturday. Get up, drive back. It's pretty simple. But I think they're bowl bound one way or the other. And, of course, soccer tomorrow at 5 o'clock. The Lady Terps destroyed Texas Southern last night. They play, I think, Ohio today in the tournament they're in Puerto Rico. And soccer tomorrow at 5 o'clock against UC Irvine. Then we got Wednesday, big game against Ohio State. We'll have a preview of that game on Terp Talk in Baltimore, Coons 4 Terp Talk on Wednesday at 6 o'clock. If you want to hear some more of some Maryland stuff and overall general sports. Tune in to 1300 AM. Go to TerpTalk.com and tune in to 1300 AM. And we'll have the Sports Maven on right after the show. This is Bruce Posner signing off. Let's go, Terps. We must take care of business today. Wind up 7-5. Everybody have a great rest of your Thanksgiving Day weekend, and we'll see you next Saturday.
Kelly, one of the most trusted names in benefits, now offers payroll. KTBS Payroll provides a payroll solution that utilizes their innovative technology for greater accuracy, administrative efficiency, and compliance with regulatory requirements, such as the new Patient Protection and Affordable Care Acts. KTBS Payroll features management tools, reports, and services that relieve you of the details while giving you better control, ensuring you remain in compliance. Call KTBS today at 888-882-1487 to learn more about their integrated solution for payroll and benefits through KTBS Payroll. The Fellowship of Christian Athletes is touching millions of lives, one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been helping coaches and athletes on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels to fulfill their God-given potential. FCA is the largest Christian sports organization in America and focuses on serving local communities by equipping, empowering, and encouraging people to make a difference. To learn more about the FCA in your area, call Mark Stevens at 301-363-8611 or visit their website, metromdfca.org. Are you looking for great seats? You want to see the Terps play Duke or Carolina? Want Oriole Yankee tickets, NASCAR, Van Halen, you name it. GreatSeats.com has them. Nothing beats having great seats, and you can find them by calling 800-853-SEAT or check out Great Seats ticket inventory at www.greatseats.com. Call 800-853-SEAT. Tell them the Terp Talk guy sent you. Nestled near College Park is one of Terp Talk's favorite spots, the Old Line Fine Wine, Spirits, and Bistro. I've had several lunches and dinners at the Old Line Bistro, and the atmosphere is fantastic. And the food is off the charts. What a great spot to go before or after a Terp game. Then there's the greatest selection of fine wines and beers, all at reasonable prices. At 11011 Baltimore Avenue on Route 1, check out the Old Line Bistro and say hello to my friend Larry Pendleton. Call 301-937-6999 for reservations or just stop in. That's the Old Line Bistro, 301-937-6999. Viner Consulting helps you get the most out of your business technology. We develop a technology plan for your business. There is much more than the run-of-the-mill break and fix service you are probably used to getting from your local IT tech. This is a real plan to move you forward, to bring in the latest technology at the best prices, strong support services, and a vision to lay out where you want your company to be down the road. And best of all, the plan is free to your company. Let us come and help you build your future today. Viner Consulting is a proud Microsoft partner, a Lenovo partner, and an HP partner. Conveniently based in Rockville, we service the Baltimore, Washington area. You can reach us at 240-599-0140 or on the web at www.vinerconsulting.com.
Have you been injured in a car accident by medical error while on the job or because of the fault of another? Are your medical payments and paperwork piling up, or are you out of work and losing wages that you can't afford to lose, all because someone else was negligent? If so, get the representation and individual attention you deserve from the law firm of Grant Posner, 443-388-4777, or go to BeMoreLaw.com for your free consultation.
I'm Grant Posner. I began this firm with the belief that all clients should get the individual attention that they deserve. When you call my office, you deserve to speak directly to an attorney. attorney. Call today at 443-388-4777 or visit bemorelaw.com and schedule your free consultation with an attorney today. Get the individual attention and experience you deserve for all of your injury, traffic, or criminal legal needs. And don't forget, for personal injury cases, there are no legal fees or expenses unless we win. Call today, 443-388-4777 or bemorelaw.com.
Attention business owners. Circumstances force the best of businesses to ask callers to wait. KO Productions on-hold messages turn those wasted seconds into customer awareness, service, consideration, and your own profitability. Our on-hold messages are the most direct, economical, and personal links you can have with current and future customers. We'll generate more business for you on the spot, on the phone, on the double. Get complete details at koponhold.com, koponhold.com, or call Freddie from Boca at 800-229-9969, 800-229-9969.
The opinions expressed in the preceding paid program do not necessarily represent those of WJFK, CBS Radio, its employees, or sponsors.